So hi everyone. I just want to share a bit about myself. I believe that in this COVID, we want to speak love and speak life and encourage each other. And thank you so much for joining. I can see I haven't met most of you. Stephen, thank you for sharing an introduction. Sharon, nice to see you and your team again. Missing all of you here. Hi, Sulene and Susie and the rest of you here. At 17, I had this vision. I wanted to impact 1,000 women when I was 17 years old. And I always had this vision. And actually, even as young as I was 11 years old, I was in the Pembimbing Rakan Sebaya or community counseling team. And I was asked to speak at 11 years old in front of my school assembly hall. If you're from Penang, my primary school is Sekolah Kebangsaan, Sekolah Rendah Kebangsaan, Bukit Gelugor. So I have to stand in front of hundreds of students and teachers. And that was the time when I was like, wow, actually the power of speech can bring life. And your tongue can bring power, life into someone's life, or it could bring discouragement into someone's life. So that at such a young age, I realized that this is so important if you can speak life into people. So at 17 years old, later on, when I was more matured and going through womanhood, I went through the same problems a lot of women. Maybe at 17, you're thinking like, should I go for this college? Should I start my maybe small business investment? Or maybe I just have some peer pressure from from women around me or even from your peer mates. Hi, Selena. She's my high school mate. So she's from St. George's. And so basically from then I had this, this passion in my heart that every day I wake up, I realized I wanted to impact the lives of 1,000 women. A lot of people might not know this story, but 17 years later, I was ushered into a global women ministry called Proper 31. And right now I serve and help women around the world with my committee team to serve women from around the country to empower them and transform their life through inside out transformation. So let me share, but more important today is about you, because today's lesson is about understanding other people's personality type and how we can work together as a team. So before we begin, can I just ask, maybe randomly pick two people that I do not know so that it's more fair? Maybe some of the things that you encounter facing someone with a different personality type than yours. Let me get a lucky person. Mr. Kat Singh looks like a friendly face. Let's go. Can you share with us what personality type that you find that is very hard for you to communicate with? And yeah.
Well, thank you for asking me to share something. And I think for communication, it must be two-way, two-person, right? So I think the difficult person is a person who doesn't respond. So that I find that would be very difficult when you do 90 or 99% of the talking and you don't get response. So I think in communication, there must be both way. So if you ask me what kind of person that I find hard to communicate to, it probably the person that doesn't really respond and doesn't really participate in communication. So that would be very difficult for me.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you for your very sincere response. I agree. I think communication is two-way, and there's also different type of personality, and that's why we are here to learn today. How do we communicate with different type of personality types? Especially you all heard about the 5 love languages, right? Same goes to the personality type. They respond according to their mode of communication, according to their personality. Let's ask another lady. My schoolmate Selena, what is maybe because she's running her own business and most of you are in KL, and I was in KL for a year for my training company before I moved back to Penang, because I'm such a Penang girl. Penang girl is very manja, Miss Penang. So Selena, share with us, what is your personality that you find hardest to communicate with either your clients or maybe your personal acquaintance? You would like to share with us?
Yeah, I think those who, as what Catherine mentioned, those who are, very quiet, when you, because for me, I'm in a business, so I meet a lot of people, and of course, we'll take the initiative to actually do a lot of questioning. But in terms of questioning also, they will just answer you in terms, like just one word or two words, and then you don't really get like what they want, you know. It's like, so how that kind of feeling. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I resonate with Selena a lot, especially as a coach and trainer when we are conducting virtual trainings, right? And that's why I have a new norm communication class so that everyone who comes to the class, they learn how to engage and switch on the camera. Because sometimes when you're conducting online training, I'm not sure whether all of you experience this, you don't know whether they are there. So thank you so much, those who actually switch on the camera. I know you're there. And although sometimes I know that you have maybe your own commitment, your personal reason, but it's good as well if you can switch on. So we know that you are there and we can engage. So the whole idea is when I started my business also, I wanted to give service with a heart with abundant value. Okay, so again, my name is Suin Chia. I'm the founder of Speak So Easy. Our vision is global communication, character, and confidence coaching and training to create a powerful transformation. Okay, so today we're going to learn about how to understand different type of personality type. So I'm a certified as what Annie shared. I'm a certified image consultant, holistic health coach, and NLP practitioner. So about short story about me lah. Okay, a short story about me. In 2016, I started a small project with YB Lim Siu King for a public speaking workshop. And this was the most memorable workshop to me because I remember just at such a young age, again, a girl, 11 years old, she was able to speak so well and she wanted to become like a singer, YouTuber, you know, youngsters, they like this type, but she spoke so well. So I encouraged her to continue her dreams. And I went on to give talks to Asia Global when they were in Penang that time. The Asia Global, and as mentioned, I'm a servant and leader for a group called Proper 31 Women. Actually, we oversee about 350,000 women worldwide. So besides that, I also give talks and sponsorship. The first sponsorship when I started my business, by the way, just to be very honest, my business is only running for a year plus. So I'm still very new in the business line, but I always started something different from the rest of the, all my business mentors have taught me. I started with a community center. And I started also with serving my church and did a public speaking workshop for my church. And also, basically, if you can see on the top right here, the Pump Up the Pink Certificate of Appreciation, because I have such a heart for, I really have heart for women. So raise fund for the Mount Marion Cancer and Penang Hospice through their fundraising project for Pump Up the Pink with the, I believe it was the International Women Association, one of the foreigners ladies group. So I believe each and every one of us here today are called for more, and whatever your personality type or your purpose is, you can use it to empower other people. So I just want to share a bit about my background. I started working in community center, no salary for community and service to others. This was outside Queens Bay Mall. So I started working there, and then sooner or later, I became the director. Then I went through the entrepreneurship program with Penang Women Entrepreneurship Program with the state government. And in April 3rd, I received my certification of achievement from them. And I believe we are all, each and every one of us, whatever gift and talents you have, you can use it per your ability according to your personality type. Okay, so as mentioned right now, I'm still serving in the Global Women Ministry. And okay, so let's start off the activity because today is not about me, today is all about you. Let's have the gentleman and one beautiful lady to answer a question. Who loves shopping here? Can I get Mr. Stephen to answer? How long do you take to shop?
Well,
No
you should have
worries.
asked that question to my wife. Anyway, okay, I'm a shopper where I will just go in, I know what I'm going to buy, and I come out. That's it. I don't waste a lot of time, and I'm so specific in what I want. Sort of, I will do some research, obviously, okay, and I'll check it out. But I feel the best way for me to shop is go to the shelf and go to the shop rather than going online. I'm not an online purchaser guy. I like to feel it. I got to hear it and touch it, etc. So, but having said that, yeah, I just get in, I buy it, and off I go. That's it. And, yeah.
So you would go to either Sunway or Wanyu, I'm assuming.
Most of the time it's Sunway. My wife prefers sometimes Pyramid because and I do that's quite rather quiet. So while she is shopping, I'm probably in Starbucks reading, and that's it, and
Nice.
having my quiet time. That's basically what I do. Yeah, yeah. But yes, I do. Take time off on Saturdays and Sundays to be with my wife, and at our age, we spend time together. And yeah, I shop with her, but nevertheless, she shops and I sit in a corner.
I see. So,
Yep.
how long would you say that normally, if let's say your wife or yourself were to go into maybe say a shop and a retail shop, and how long will it take you to make a
Well,
decision?
if you're looking at like Sunway, okay, probably Anne loves to walk, so she's like there for about 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours. She's there, so I can read
Wow.
something. So I will sit in a corner. That's it. I can't be, and yeah, yeah. She loves that, and I'll just go in, and she will then call me, say, I saw something for you. You just come and see it. I just go and see it. I say, buy it. That's it. I go off. Yeah,
Thank
typical
you.
man, I would think. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
It's good. At least she does what she likes, and you also have your
Precisely.
own quiet time. Thank you
Yep.
so much for the sharing, and we get to know a bit about yourself. Okay, according to statistic, right? You're right, very right. Women take about 3 to 5 hours to make a decision what they want to buy, whereas male is very objective, very logical, very practical. They should maybe take about 6-10 minutes to make the decision. So yeah, so what he said is true. Okay, so today's agenda is understanding your personality type, also understanding your strength and weakness, and how to turn that weakness into your strength. Or if you have that strength, how do you amplify the strength more? So this is just a joke. Someone said that I took a personality test, and someone else said, oh, what is your personality score? So I said, oh, no personality. So this is not true, yeah? Every one of us have DISC, that is 4 DISC. Each and every one of us have DISC, but the majority of the ratio of your D or your I or your S or your C is depending on yourself. So we're going to start ahead with the DISC assessment straight away, and I'm going to go run through with you one by one, okay? So I want to be vulnerable today because I believe the best engagement is just to tell the honest truth. And this is my example of my result. You can see on the top right, I did this test on 29 March 2021, and I got the I and S. Some of you actually, I believe Adeline have done the test about a month ago. I'm not sure the rest of you have done the ISC. You might actually have a different result about a month, 3 months, or 6 months later. Think about it. Will you have a different result? Will your personality change? Because I will ask this question at the end of the session. Maybe you can reflect and see, will your personality change after 2 months, 3 months, and 6 months? And if it's changed, what is the cause factor of the changes? Think about this question, and we'll have a discussion at the end of the day. Okay, so this is my result. So we are going to do this assessment together. Just for you to know, it's going to go from left to right, and the highest score will be 5. That means you're very accurate, means this statement relates to you. For example, I'm a very hardworking person. If you think you're very hardworking, put a 5 for yourself. If this does not relate to you, you think that I'm not so hardworking, then it's a score 1. And if you think that sometimes, yes, you're hardworking, but sometimes you're a bit more laid back, then you can put a 3. It's a sometimes, okay? So I'm going to give a blank one. So we get questions. So first of all, you want to write today's date. And we're going to start off with the first column. Before I begin, any questions? Anyone? Let's hear from Suking. Are you okay? Anna, are you all right? Okay, Anna is giving me a thumbs up. Suking is giving me a thumbs up. Awesome. Okay, the first column, good listener. Okay, good listener. If you think you're a good listener, give yourself a 5. Make sure you have a pen and paper. Those who need time to grab a pen and paper, please do so. I'll give you about 1 minute. Few days ago, I just got my jab. So that's why today is a coffee talk, right? But I just now when Annie was introducing, I was a bit like, oh, I'm having 100 plus, so I'm like 100 plus talk today. So if you already got your pen and paper, it'd be great. Okay, so the first statement is, if you're a good listener, please give yourself a score of 5. Okay, next one is put up with things I don't like. Put up with things I don't like. Okay, next is willing to follow orders. Yeah, okay. Think of others before I decide. So means, in other words, you're considerate. You think of others before you decide. Okay, next, willing to help. Helpful person. Understand others' feelings. Okay, and nice to other people. Okay, have warm feelings for people. Let other people lead. So you don't really prefer to be the leader and don't like to cause problems.
What does have warm feelings for people mean?
Oh, meaning that you are more of an or empathy. You have empathy towards people. You're very sensitive towards other people's feeling. You're not cold. You have warm feeling. Finally, a question. I got so excited when someone asked me a question. Thanks for asking. Okay, so the last one, don't make demands of people. Means not bossy. And by the way, each column have 12 questions. Just type 1 in the chat box if you're done with column 1. Okay, I received a response from Paying. Thank you, Paying. To make it a bit easier, if you like and you're using your desktop or your phone, take a screenshot of this overall. So later on, maybe you want to double check on your answer or the assessment. You can be assured you get it accurately, and be honest with yourself, because this assessment is not for anyone else's eyes, but it's for you to do a self-reflection and self-check on your personality, so we can really generally learn how to improve our weakness. Okay. Okay, now I believe majority have done first column. Let's look at second column. Okay, want to make the rules. Okay, you're a person who want to make the rules. Go straight ahead with projects. Means you have initiative. Like for example, you're given a project task, and then you go ahead without actually a lot of direction. Okay. Third point, act in a forceful way. So what does act in a forceful way? Some of my participants ask me, act in a forceful way is like right now, because of MCO, we have to follow a lot of rules, and we have to be compliant with the rules. So in a way, I would say can't really say we have to abide. So we are being forced. So the person who enforce it is acting in a forceful way. That's how I would put it. Okay, want to win. Okay, this one in Chinese we call kiasu lah. Want to win. Okay, next one, will be the first to act. Again, this is an initiative. A person with initiative will be the first to act. Next, do not give in. This means that you don't really say yes easily. You will need some convincing or persuasion. People see me as powerful. Again, we are at second column. Sure of myself. So you are a confident person. Want to be in charge. Like to take action. Quick to act. And last but not least, feel strong. Selena, are you okay there?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Awesome. I thanks Sharon for the acknowledgement. She also said can see. Okay, let's look at the third column. Like to do things accurately. Like doing things the right way. Do things right the first time. Think of what makes sense. Like to be precise. Shy with others. Good at analyzing things. Thinks things through. So what does thinks things through? Means that you will actually weigh the pros and cons before you make a decision. Okay. The rest, I think, is self-explanatory. It's very simple statements. Like don't like too much attention means you prefer to be behind the scene and don't say much in a group. So this person could be, for example, an introvert. Okay, receive. Anna is done with column 2 and 3. How about the rest? Thanks, Kat Singh. Thanks, Pei. Anna, you have any questions? No questions, okay. Because I haven't received, I'm not sure whether you have completed or not. I believe most of you are done with column 3. Can we go to column 4? Okay, I'm going to read out some of the statements in column 4. So column 4, wide variety of friends. So this person is obviously a friendly person, liked by others, like to meet people, fun to be with, see things positively, feel contented, happy and carefree, liven things up. So liven things up is like when the person walks into the room, it's like they are the life of the party, okay? Feel relaxed most of the time. So even right now with the current COVID situation, we're still grateful, we are still thankful. So happy most of the time would describe the person well. Find it easy to meet strangers. So imagine if you are asked to go for a networking event and you do not know anyone there, but you approach the people you do not know. So I would say that, yes, you find it easy to meet strangers. So you get a very high 5. If you find that sometimes, yes, depending on the person, you can put it as 3. And last but not least, communicate in a lively manner. Okay. If you're done with 4, you can type in the chat box 4. And just to confirm, everyone will have at least 12 questions in each of the DISC or each of the columns. Once you're done already, if you have a calculator there with you, do total up scores for column 1. What is the score that you will get? Okay. So again, because the highest is ranked for 5 and the lowest is 1, so calculate your scores. And then let me just see who has not done yet. Total up your score. So in first column, you want to find out what is the score total up, because the first column is actually you are a person is of steady. You're a steady type of personality. The second, you total up your score, you are a dominant person. The third, if you total up your score, you are a cautious person. And the last but not least, when you total up your score, you will present the influencer personality. So find out from the 4 of these columns or rows, what is your 2 highest personality trait? So again, as mentioned, each and every one, all of us will have DISC1, but how much percentage of that D, I, or S or C do you have? Everyone will have 2 highest one. Okay, that might be an instant that you will have 3 highest, because this is just a very introductory of DISC. But in actual DISC course, whereby it takes up to 3 days, you will be very specific in the numbers. But if you happen to have 3, it's still okay. That is almost a similar score, but don't have 4. 4 is a big personality imbalance. If you're done, I like to show the next, the previous slide. When you are done and you have the 2 highest, let me show an example. So what I'll do is I'll put my name there, or you can see my name actually, because once I type in, you can see my name, right? My 2 highest is I and S. Okay, my 2 highest is I and S. So once you have total up your score, look for the 2 that is highest of score. Okay, good. Adeline have gotten her D and C. Adeline, is it still the same from last time you did a month ago?
Yes.
Still same, okay. She still have the same personality type. Good, good. Okay. Okay, I received from Adeline and Sharon already. Anna, C and S, okay, good.
Sorry,
Sulin, 2 and 4. Sulin would be,
Sorry.
Sulin also, yeah, go ahead.
You're saying just now was wait, come back again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the first one was what? Was first one a steady or what?
Okay,
Yes.
show you my scores here.
Yeah.
So you can see here, the first column is actually steady.
Yeah.
Second is a dominant.
Yeah, that's right.
Third
Okay.
is a cautious. And fourth is a influencer.
Okay.
Okay. So you might want to also write down today's date and your 2 highest score. So like you can see here, I colored mine. I kind of like colors. I'm a very visual person. So purple I got is steady. I got 45. And I got triangle influencer, which is quite high, which is 56. Maybe you have a different one. It could be higher in the square, dominant, or a moon, which is cautious. Okay. So once you get the result, right, I encourage you all to think back. This personality type, right? Later on, I will give you the explanation of what each personality means. Okay, so you might want to reflect and think, is this personality trait suitable to your current profession or your current position? Okay, so I'll give you an explanation of your personality and each personality type as well. Okay.
Hi. Yeah, I'm done.
Done it, is it?
Thank you.
What's your result, Sok Hyun?
Uh, 1 and 4.
1 and 4. So you want to write there S and I.
Sorry, what is it?
S and
Oh,
I.
S and I.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Suk Mei, 1 is steady, correct. 3 is cautious. You are correct. Okay.
Yeah, I've done and I've submitted to you.
Okay, saying you are S and I. Okay, noted. Thank you.
How to you mean the Zurin, you mean
Yes, yeah.
steady is the point, the lowest point is steady, is it?
There's no lowest point or highest point, but if you find that you relate to that statement, for example, in column 1, good listener. If you think you're a good listener, give yourself 5 points, which is the highest. If you don't think you're a good listener, the lowest points would be 1, which is does not relate to you, very inaccurate. So it depends on what is your personality type, and that result will show at the bottom from the total of that column. So maybe Beyond, you can let me know the first column, what is your score?
50,
50. Okay, the next one.
43, 53, 48.
Okay, can you share with me the 2 highest that you got?
First and third column.
First and third column. So the steady and the cautious.
Steady and cautious.
So you're a steady and cautious personality type.
Okay, thank you.
Much welcome. Okay, so I believe most of you are already done. Would you all like to know what does the personality means? Annie, are you? Yes, okay.
Of course.
Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, so what we're going to look at is the 4 different types of things we're going to look at recognizing the personality types in your workplace. So the first one is your clothing or your appearance, personality, gesture, and order at work. So the first thing is this type of clothing. Okay, when this type of lady walks into the room, it's like wow, wow room, because first of all, it's very fashionable. Colors are usually very bright. very like you cannot miss her or him. If it's a guy, he's fashionable, he's very selective in his fashion accessories, bright color tie. If he's a man, fashionable. Okay, like this one for example, very, even though he's just a one color outfit, but you can see his hair is nicely gelled out, very fashionable person, very visual. Influencer people are very visual, by the way. So why we call influencer in the social media now, we say, oh, this person is an influencer, oh, this one is endorse certain products and all that, because they have the power to impact people. So they stand out in the crowd. The moment they walk into the room, people will notice them. They are very bubbly person, and the key indicator, right, when you talk to them, they tell rather than ask. So for example, I might ask like, how are you? Then they will tell me, hey, I'm fine. I just had my jab. I just had my jab at Satya Spice. And they give you more information instead of a one word answer, because they are a person who tell rather than ask. And they're very open about their success story and their failure story. And you will know a person is influencer if we're talking about now is a new norm, right? Through the online training, online events or meetings, they have a lot of hand gesture. Like, can you guess whether I'm an influencer or not? It's very obvious, right? I have a lot of hand gesture. Okay. So if you're an I, let me just see who's the I here. Stephen, yes. Sulin, yes, you're I. Susie, Annie, Sharon. Okay, awesome. Most of you are I here. So I believe you are very engaging people. Okay, so what's the weakness of an influencer? The weakness of an influencer person is their desk is also as creative as their mind. So because they are such creative people, you can think about influencer being a celebrity or being an artist. They have so much imagination in their mind. So because they got so many ideas, imagine this person is a painter. They have their paintbrush, they have their tools, their artwork all over the place. But the thing about them is they have so much responsibility, since they are very sociable people as well. Again, they're influencer. Then what they can do to talk to them, like let's say maybe you have a co-worker, or maybe your peers is an influencer. I have a sticky note here. So usually what I do is, if I want to communicate to them pre-COVID, right, I will write down the tasks for them to do and I stick in front of their laptop. Or when you talk about group chat, right, WhatsApp's very famous now, personal message them. Because again, one of their weakness about influencer is they have a weakness in time management. So to communicate with them, personally approach them, or personally message them, or personally physically approach them. Does that make sense? If maybe instead of me talking, I might get some opinions from influencer people here, because we got so many influencer here, right? Can we ask Stephen? Or you have to unmute yourself again, sir?
Right. What I mean, in all my experience in work, you know, being in electronics and manufactured Mattel toys, Barbie dolls, and went to Indonesia as an expat, and back now in the university. I think at the end of the day, over time, okay, it's more of a situational issue. Over time, you change in your personality styles, and at this age of time, I'm more of an influencer, because one of the key things that I practice is obviously a very open door, okay? And everybody knows that, okay? And I'm a very simple person, okay, with regards to knowing who the security person is. The first person that I greet, okay, is the security. The second person I greet is the lady who cleans the toilet. And I know their names and text things like that. So I come to a point where at the end of the day, you have to be simple, humble, and use your wisdom. And if you have those kind of characteristics that you have, you become an influencer. And obviously, at the end of the day, you have to be knowledgeable, obviously, and you're seen as someone who lead others to become leaders at the end of the day. And I think at the end of the day, I bet a lot of you guys are out here, and you guys are all church-going guys and all that. I used to jump on the stage singing songs and doing worship leading, etc. And so it's kind of character ingrained in you to be an influencer. At the end of the day, and the other point is, I think it boils down to kindness at the end of the day. And you want to define kindness, it goes into so many areas in terms of charity, and ensure that you are sharing your knowledge with others, and they see, that you are a very accommodating person. So my doors are not closed. People just walk in, and I always tell them, don't call me Mr. or don't call me Sir, just call me Stephen. That's it. Or I tell my Chinese friends, they used to call me Tausi. I say, don't call me Tausi, call me Hak Tausi.
What does that mean, yeah?
Ask your Chinese friend, what is Tausi?
Someone explained to me, I'm a Chinese, but I can't really understand Chinese. But
well, you see, I'm in Malaysian, Indian. My name is Stephen Cornelius, right? And most of them people say, hey, they think you're from US or Britain or UK or whatever. I'm a down-to-earth person. I'm a Sherman boy, okay? And I've been exposed to a lot. But Tausi means, the Tausi when you eat is like, it's a dark, like pepper, right? Dark, okay, very dark. But Tausi is really dark. Okay, I'm not all that dark anyway. I'm not all that dark, but I always tell my friends, hey, they always say this Indian guy comes in and all, they call it Tausi those days, my friends. But yeah, I tell them, hey, call me out Taxi. So for me, it doesn't matter what they call you. I think what most important is who you are, what you make up yourself, and people need to see that you are definitely an influencer in terms of how you react with them, how you act with them, how you see them, more important than what you are. That's it. I don't know.
Thank you so much. The reason I'm kind of like, thanks for bringing in the honest truth, Stephen. Someone actually asked, is it salted beancurd?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's salted.
Salted, yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's so humble of you to share.
Yeah.
First time I hear someone describing themselves that way, but I really like your sharing.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you. I agree. I think a great influencer is someone who actually brings impact to other people. It's not about the status, whether the person's on the stage or whether they are just serving as an usherer, but it's really the impact that you bring to people's life. And I really agree with and I resonate with you a lot about that. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Cautious type. Okay, so a person who is cautious is a person with clothing appearance very simple, very minimalistic. So cautious people are more wary. Their clothing style is very minimalistic. As you can see on the right hand side, the man is wearing very simple clothing, not a lot of colors. And someone said, ironing, is it their favorite pastime? So because they are very, how do I say, they are kind of perfectionists, maybe in that sense. They like to do things properly. They are very logical and analytical and fact-based. So they're critical thinker and, as I mentioned, perfectionist. So how do you apply this in your workplace, right? So when you talk to people who are cautious, right? So let's say, okay, for example, Sharon, anytime, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I always ask her, kesian her. She deals with a lot of customers. So, for example, Sharon, she might have customers asking her about swimming. They are working in a swimming, very, very beautiful, largest Olympic-sized swimming pool in Penang.
Yeah.
So they have customers asking her, "Hey, can I go for swimming now because of the COVID situation?" So, how do you answer a customer, especially a parent who is more cautious, right? So you have to give them the facts that, okay, we already got the letter from the government. Okay, if you go into the water is chlorine, but actually the virus cannot spread in the water. Maybe I should ask Sharon. Sharon, how do you answer the cautious parents most of the time?
Yeah, mostly we will take the facts there and we will show to customer what information that we get from the government. then we will provide them a SOP, something like that lah.
Correct. So when talking to a cautious person, right, show them the facts and the information. Even for example, they say, hey, why should I register or get my son or daughter to join an academy? Show them that the company has been running for this number of years, for more than 5 years. We are the top 3 and etc. Show them the facts, because cautious people, they want to get the logical statistic. So for example, even if let's say you're in sales or in business, you show your customers is the cautious type. Show them the statistics, show them the information, show them the founder. This guy is a scientist. He's doing this, for example, this medical business for some time. Give them the information, give them the facts, and this is how you build rapport with someone who is cautious. Okay, let's look at the cautious desk. Okay, the person who has a cautious personality, again, because they are such perfectionists, they are professional, even from the point they organize their folders is from A to Z, they have different type of division. This file is for my events. This file is for my financial cash flow. This file is maybe for my purchase, my inventory. Okay, so everything is really stacked up nicely for a person who is cautious. But let me make it a bit more engaging and ask who's cautious. Susie. Okay, question, Susie. We are only at, Susie, are you cautious?
Sorry. I think Susie is not able to talk. Yesterday she went for a dental treatment.
Oh, no problem. Understand.
Person.
Paying, are you you're cautious, right, Paying?
Yeah, I am.
Who's your best friend here? Who are you closest to in this group?
I don't know anyone here.
Oh, you're okay, no problem. So is this, I wanted to ask and confirm, is this what your desk look like?
Yeah, quite.
Wow, so it's true,
I like organizing
Okay.
things. Yeah, I like things to be organized.
Awesome. Yes, so as example, it says Susie, she's a cautious, so she likes things to be organized. So that's why even in their thought personality, the thought process flow, they want things to be organized. So talk to them about facts and logical information. Payne has a question. Okay, who in the Bible has the character of influencer? Wow, there's a lot. For the women, we can look at Queen Esther. We can also look at Anna and Anna, I think. Anna, and another one, Deborah. Deborah, she helps in the political side. I believe she's a judge. Yeah. Okay. So how about the dominant personality? The dominant personality traits is very obvious. The moment you walk into the room, you see their face. Wow, this is a dominant person, because they are very fierce. Very fierce looking, very stern. They like pierce into your soul. So the way they dress is very professional, very formal. They are usually very busy people because they have very lots of action. They're very action orientated, and the key indicator for dominant person, they tell rather than us. So they give the orders rather than us. Like for example, when you go into a project with them, they straight away will tell you, oh, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. They give the instruction already. If you all watch MasterChef, right, Gordon Ramsay is a very obvious dominant person, because he will tell you, okay, you are in charge of the maybe the entry, you're in charge of the main course, and you're in charge of the dessert. He don't ask, do you want to be in charge of the main course? Do you want to be in charge of the maybe pantry? He will still give you the orders. Okay, so obvious gesture, the body language, point, index finger. So you can think about some of the positions in our country with dominant personality. I can name a few, like politicians, bosses, judge, and people with authority. And so they are very powerful people with strength. Okay, so how about the dominant people here? Let me ask and interview some of you. Selena, you have a dominant personality.
Sorry, finding my buttons to
No
unmute.
problem.
Yeah.
I want to interview you a bit lah. Okay, do you resonate with this? Is this how you prefer your desk? Functional, no need to be fancy or branded, as long as it's so practical.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, thanks for the answer.
Thank
So,
you.
okay, thank you. So, steady people is my favorite type of personality. I see a lot of steady here. Okay, so steady are very accommodating and peaceful in nature. Their purpose in life is kind of like support other people, and the key indicator to notice when they talk to you is you hear the steady people, they ask rather than tell. What is the objective? They keep asking rather than tell. For example, we have this project again, so they ask, hey, how to do this project? When do we need to submit? Because they want to support. Low key speech, they talk in a calm manner. They are very good listeners, and they are also peaceful workers. They are the one that bring peace into your community or your church environment or your company. So they don't like all these drama. They are more of the peacemaker in the company, in your organization, or in your group. So let me ask again, who is in the S here? Mr. Stephen. Yeah. So I believe you are S. Is this does this resonate with you?
You're asking me? Sorry.
Yes, exactly.
Well, obviously, yeah. I think my strongest area, as I mentioned, is influence and S, and I think it goes resonate to because I think it's a hand and glove thing between influence and steady, and I think as much as it resonates more towards helping others, leading others, and that's what it is. I think as much as I've grown and in my stature, in my work, and just not the work environment, I think in the community as well. And again, I think the other important element is family. That's very important. So, at the end of the day, is two high points there. Steady is, as I mentioned, is leading others and helping others. Okay, in need with regards to knowing what their basically their emotional aspects, where you put yourself in the other person's shoes, and listening is very important. Let me just give you an example. This is when I was a consultant. When I came back from Indonesia, I was working for a consulting company in New York, and but based in Indonesia and Asia. You spent working with people as a coach, and the main ingredient as an influencer is you got to listen. You got to listen. You got to listen. Very important. And they respect you. They tend to respect you. Sorry?
Sorry, steady. We're talking about steady now.
Oh, you're talking about, okay, so steady, yeah. So sorry, yeah. So even steady, so even steady, you got to listen. As I mentioned, okay, you have to listen, because and steady also, as I mentioned, okay, you have to help people, and you're seen as a leader as well, because at the end of the day, when you are actually with people that who needs your support, they have to see that you are their voice, and not only that, they also feel that, okay, you have the other, as I say, it combines with my other character, which is influence. At the end, you can't be very low in your influence and then very high in your steady. I think that's how I feel at the end of the day. So yeah, so going back to the question about steady, I think it falls back to what I'm doing to ensure there is a knowledge transfer. They see you as someone who is highly accommodative and been very comfortable with. So yeah, so those things are the things that I have experienced, and as much as being a coach myself, so that character has helped tremendously.
Thank you so much, Stephen. You actually summarized steady very well, and agree with you. Especially as a coach and consultant, being a good listener is very, very important and very strategic, business-wise, personally, and professionally. So I agree with you. And going back to what Stephen shared also about having a high I, means a high impact or influential, also helps when it comes to steady, because steady person wants to support, and the whole idea of supporting someone and having impact, there's a purpose for it. So having a high influencer personality at the end of the day is to support the steady personality, and it goes vice versa, is to impact the people out there. I guess that's what I assume you are trying to summarize. So the quiz here, now we're going to have a quiz. I believe you all have an understanding of DISC now. So let's
Sorry.
have a, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, back to the previous slide on steady.
Okay.
This phrase that you put on the slide, the green
Mm.
grass in your puzzle, what does that mean?
Oh, you see the beginning? Maybe I can share.
Okay.
No problem. Maybe I can take this question at the end of the session. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Who's asking just now?
I'm Pei Yin.
Okay, Pain. Take note on that. Any remind me if I forget. Pain, ask me a
Can you
question.
type your question in the chat box so that we can address it after this?
Yeah, that'll be a great idea.
Thank you, Pin.
Okay. So let's have a quiz now. Guess their personality type. Let's check on the left-hand side. Can you tell me what personality type is Asnil Nawawi? Oh, you can unmute yourself so we can have an engagement. Asnil Nawawi is on the left-hand side. What do you think his personality type? The only one personality type that describe him.
Influencer.
Influencer.
Yeah, sure. Correct. That's right. How about on the right side?
Dominant.
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 Well obvious, right? Okay, the next one on the left side. Jojo Amani.
Amani is more of a someone that's very
Influencer.
Who said that? Influencer?
Sharon?
Sharon, correct. Sharon, you're right. How about on the right side? Dr. Gregory House.
Caution.
Cautious, good. Why cautious? Who said that, by the way?
Selena here.
Selena, why cautious?
Because I think he's someone who is, when he do things, he analyze. I mean, I don't really watch Dr. House, but that's the image I think they projected. I have a feeling that is cautious.
Correct. Because for his job or his profession, he will require to do a medical operation and a lot of medical procedure. So in order for him to do his work properly, he have to adapt into a cautious personality. So you are right, Selena.
If you look at his face, it sort of reflects that as well.
Correct. Exactly. He's
You
like,
can read, aesthetically on his face and all that. Sounds like he's a very cautious person. You meet somebody like that for a meeting, you said, hey, wait a minute, you got to know exactly what you're talking to him. He'll take note of everything you say. Interesting. Yeah.
Interesting, right? From the body language.
Yeah, body language.
Right. That's right. Thank you for noticing that. And that's true. From the body language, you can see he's very worried of who come into his inner circle. Yeah. So even in the movie, he, besides cautious, you can also I believe was Mr. Stephen who mentioned just now, it's also you can see he has a very dominant personality from his body language. Do you all agree? Okay, so since you have already identified your DISC, right? Think of a person in your household or in your workplace or even your spouse that has this type of the personality type, either one of this category. And more importantly, think about how you can build rapport with them or how you can communicate with them. Or if you have this type of customer or this client that's difficult to work with, how do you work better with them? I'm going to give you the solution right now. Okay, paying. So this is from the beginning, we actually call this understanding your personality puzzle. So the green puzzle actually represent the DISC lah. So actually this lady, she is the green puzzle. So we want to visualize ourselves in a team. So imagine this team of people, each of them have contrast personality. One is a very high D, one is a I, one is a S, one is a C. So when I say the green puzzle is actually this person is the peacemaker lah. The idea of a steady, if you can think and summarize in one word, right? They are peacemaker. They help the team, they support the team, and they are the pillar of the team. Does that make sense?
Yeah, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's interesting. If I can interject, it's quite interesting you mentioned that When you look at the green zone, if you got, it's like quadrant 2 in a situational leadership. And if you look at a quadrant 2, S2, it's more as somebody who is a team player and somebody who's very energetic and yeah, and very passionate with the team, stuff like that. So yeah, it's true.
Thank you
Sort of
for that.
resonates. Yeah, it
Yeah,
resonates.
thanks for that information. So we're going to now look at the DISC summary. Okay, so for a person who is very dominant, as I mentioned, the key indicator when they speak is they ask what. So for example, we are going to go to my favorite place again, Satya Spice Aquatic Center. We're going to go for a team building swimming pool, okay? So the boss or the organizer of this event, they will ask, what is the purpose of us going to swim right now with the COVID and all that? Why are we organizing this activity in September? What is the purpose? Will we achieve anything? So the person who is dominant, they have the mindset again, they want to achieve the KPI. They want to achieve the business goal. So some of the feedback my participants have asked me before, they told me that, oh, that's why their boss always have this personality. They seem like they have no emotion. Most of the time they are very objective. Their very objective is not because they have no emotion, it's because they want to be effective, and in order for them to lead well, they have to be effective in managing the company. That's why most bosses are dominant or have a bit of high dominant in that. So they're very independent, they are very busy because they are action orientated. They tell you rather than ask, so they give you the order. But when they do give a 5W1H, right? What's the 5W1H? Who, what, when, why, and etc. and how, right? The famous W, they ask what? What did you do? Okay. Influencer. Influencer people are very inspiring, impressive. They have a lot of interaction, and the personality type, let's say again, we are going to go for a team building to swimming pool activity. So the influencer person, they like to know who else is going because as mentioned, they are motivated by other people. They have a lot of friends. So when we have this activity, for example, they will ask, hey, is Annie going? Stephen going? Stephen going? I go lah. Annie not going? I don't want to go lah. Okay, so they are again poor time management because they have a lot of tasks in their hands, but they're very energetic, social, and friendly. So think about, when I'm talking about this, think about some of the people in your team with this type of personality. The reason you want to have understanding of their personality is so you can understand how do you communicate with them better to meet the same objective. Okay, next is steady. So a steady person is very submissive, stable, supportive. Okay, they are a bit shy sometimes, and they are very stable in their job. Again, as I mentioned, they are the peacemaker. They want to support you. So when a key indicator for 5W1H is they ask how and when. Okay, so when are we going for the team building activity? September. How are we going there? Who's fetching? Oh, nobody fetch you. Come, I fetch you. They want to tumpang kereta, masuk sekali, go together because they are very supportive of their friends. And they have very close group of friends, but this close group of friends, they really hold closely too because they are very accommodating. And again, in the team, right, they are the peacemaker. They hold the puzzle together. That's why they are the green. Green represent peace, right? And also very steady and very calm people. Cautious. Cautious again, for example, like my sister, she's a very cautious person. She's very calculative, and in fact, her job is actually a finance analysis. So she is a very critical in terms of thinker in the way her thought process is. She's very logical and very fact-based. Against when you speak to this type of customers or clients, you might want to give them the facts. So for example, again, we're going for the team building activity at swimming pool activity. So let me ask you all, here, the pool of people here, what kind of questions do you think a cautious person will ask if we are going for a swimming pool team building activity in September? I'm throwing out this question to the group here. Give me some examples.
How deep is the pool?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why do?
Why? Okay. What else? Anyone else like to try?
Can I have the schedule of the team building?
Yes, correct. What else?
Got lifeguard.
Got lifeguard or not? This are very important. How many lifeguard according to compliance? Is it need 4 lifeguard or not? Sukmei, how safe is it? Yes, correct. How safe is it? Later I go swimming in the pool, right? The virus can spread or not? The lifeguards, the swimming pool instructors, do they wear any face shield? Do they wear any SOP compliance mask and etc.? These are the questions that they will ask. So again, they are very logical. They don't really show the feelings, but again, cautious people also have few good friends that they can rely on. And now you all understand the different type of personality, and in a way, what are the questions that are asked? Let me share with you, and maybe also have an engagement activity with all of you. I want to magnify this so you can see the personality type for D and I people. So D and I people, right? They are outgoing people. Again, outgoing D, but they are motivated by tasks. So if you give them in your team or in your church or your organization, if you give them a task, wow, they are perfect because they are motivated by completing the task. They feel a sense of achievement. Okay. How about I? I people are outgoing as well, but they are motivated by people. So give them a job that deals with people. Then they feel a sense of achievement by helping other people or by helping other people to achieve that goal, if that makes sense. Okay, let's look at C and S. C and S people are very reserved. And again, S people study, they like to support other people. Remember, they are the peacemaker. So S people I really like because although they are reserved, they don't really share a lot, but they are also motivated by helping others. And last but not least, C. C are very cautious, so they are reserved and task-oriented. So my question to all of you is, can you give me an example of a person who, a job that suits a D person? Give me some examples. Maybe Beyond or Annie?
Sorry, can you repeat your question again?
What jobs do you think suits a person with a D personality type?
The head of the department or the company, the CEO, headmaster.
Good. Sukmei also asked teacher, correct, you're right, Selena, because you have a D. Can you give me an example?
Those who usually are the managers, like the managers, business owners.
Yes, the people who have to make decision. The keyword is the decision maker. Okay, decision maker, and they are motivated by action. They are action oriented. How about I? What type of jobs do you think will suit the I person? Give me some example.
Coach.
Yes. Okay.
Coach.
Besides, yes, coach also consider because we need a lot of, we have to be inspirational. So besides coach, car salesman. Yes, Sukmei, you are right. Who's Sukmei? All the answers is correct one, right, Julia? Sukmei, can I ask what industry you're from last time?
Sorry, what industry? I stopped working 20 years ago.
Oh, previously,
not
what was
20,
your job?
10 plus years ago. I was in manufacturing factory side.
Okay, so I believe you have dealt with a lot of people from inter-department.
Yes, but not much in sales.
Not much
The
in
company
sales,
didn't do sales too much.
Okay, but you're very good in observing people. I mean, different type of personality.
Thank you.
Problem. Good observation skills. Okay, S. How about S? What type of job profession do you think will suit the S personality type?
Scientists. Hopefully those who came up with our COVID vaccine.
Oh,
The
yeah,
scientists.
correct. I agree also. As study people who come up with, like, maybe you're talking about like people from the front line?
Yes, those two.
Yes, correct. Nurses are very supportive people. I can think of on the back of my mind, nurses, because they help support, the frontliners help support a lot of people. How about C? Job position for C? Yes, paying, correct. Counselor, coaches, consultants, steady. Why? Because they have to be good listeners. Counselor, yes, because they have to be very patient and they have to have very high listening skills in order to give good advice to people. How about C? Maybe you can give example of C. Cautious. The cautious person is a person who is more reserved, but they are more, they prefer to work with a task or, yeah, maybe administrator, correct? Besides that?
Accountants.
Accountant, good.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was thinking accountants.
Yes, correct. So I'm going to share with you all actually how do you build relationship with this different type of personality. Okay, you all can see here the screen. Okay, first for dominant, right? Their priority again is to accomplish the task because they are the decision maker in the company or in the group or the organization. So they want the task to be done. So make it happen. So how do you build relationship with them? Through result and respect. So a lot of people will think like you, I'm sure you all heard a lot. Like the other day when we did the training, one girl said, I don't understand why my boss, I do the work, never tell me thank you, never give me any appreciation. But they only want the action. So she said, now she know already. Now she just do the action. She can build the relationship and the respect with the boss already. So if you see the person with a dominant trait, this is how you build the relationship with them. Okay. How about I? Again, their priority is outgoing and they are motivated by people. So they have a lot of, like influencer, right? They always get a lot of comments like, oh, job well done, amazing. Wow, this outfit beautiful. That's why they're influencer. They got a lot of admiration, right? Okay, as people are very steady, they are the peacemaker and their motivation is to support people. So they appreciate the relationship through the sincere friendship, through the friendly, real, rapid building relationship. Last but not least is the C people. The C people, as mentioned, just like my sister, they value consistency and quality information. So how do you build relationship? Remember the word integer? Integer come from the word integrity also, right? So if you have the integrity, right, and you have a trustworthiness with you, the cautious people will respect you because again, for them to trust people, right, they're very wary. Like just now, someone mentioned, so just from the eyes, you see, wow, before you walk towards them, they already have this is my personal space already. So in order for you to come into my inner circle or my personal space, right, you got to build this trust with me because I have a wall already. Before I know you, I have a wall already. But in order for you to break down that wall, you got to build that trust first with me. How do you build that wall? You have to show it by your trustworthiness, by your integrity. So we're going to that swimming pool activity, right? As a team building. How do you build that? So don't suddenly tell them we're going in September, then change, say, hey, now we're not going to September already. We're going in end of August. That one they will take a joke because they value consistency, integrity, integer. Everything have to be consistent. So usually from my experience with cautious people, right? Again, they are a bit worried. So once you say that, okay, I'm going to make it in September, try to stick to September or courtesy let them know if there's any changes because they value consistency and numbers are their favorite security, I guess. Okay, so any question regarding DISC? How do you build a relationship with someone who's total opposite? How do you build relationship with person with a C, a S, or I, or D? Besides,
can we try to, if we're flexible enough, it requires all the four quadrants to handle a person or a group of people, because it's a matter of who is stronger in which area, and we have to understand and try to maneuver, like if it's a person is dominant, we kind of show respect and respect and gratitude, but in the same time, we have to like establish some form of relationship, friendly relationship, in order to work and collaborate together. Right? So that would include like being a bit more of a steady person, and also, work-wise, we have to be a bit more cautious so that we can also gain some respect from this dominant person.
I had a conversation with a fellow friend of ours the other day, who's a trainer. I asked her the same question. She mentioned the same statement as what you're sharing also. As a trainer, or if you have been a coach previously, we are all of this because we become chameleon to different type to different type of clients, to different type of customer. We have to be. If I go and train, for example, a group of auditors, I have to be a bit more dominant. But if I train with, for example, I do have a group of celebrities and influencers that I train as well. I have to have the high eye. Then, for example, the other day, a lady asked me, hey, I'm going to go meet a group of medical professionals. Should I dress a bit more smarter? I said, yes. So what are the things that we can justify? When do we go there? I see. Remember the 3 P's, I'm going to share up the people, the place, and the position. So if you go and the protocol. So if you go to meet a person who, for example, a politician, you might want to portray a more D personality, not just in your communication, but in your image. That's why just now I talked about clothing, right? So you might dress something that is more professional because you're meeting a politician, correct? Or the governor. How about if you go meet a celebrity? You want to respect them, so you dress a bit more, maybe more colorful. So I always say that when it comes as an image consultant, it comes to going back to why we are doing it, because we want to respect them. So the first thing is the people. How about the place? So the place, again, if you go for a high-class fine dining restaurant, we will not be wearing just shorts and t-shirt, right? Because we are respecting the place. Last but not least, the protocol. The protocol, for example, if I go to church, I want to dress presentably because that's an environment where we are a sanctified place, and it's a procedure that kind of like everyone know is an ethic. So whether it's a business ethic or a church ethic or faith ethic, we want to respect. So some companies, they also have clothing where they wear the same uniform, like Petronas or Shell. This is the uniform that they wear because this is a protocol that the company have already implemented. So bear in mind what is the motivation behind you are taking up this personality type, and why you want to adapt to other personality type when situation requires to. So going back to the respect to the other person, place, and protocol. Okay. So the summary is, we actually need each other, because if I can find in my team, and I believe in each and everyone, whether it's a church organization or a team, if you can find people with DISC, like for example, maybe I find that, oh, I'm an I, then I want to find people with different personality to balance out my company. So not only will it benefit my company, the person who does that job will be happier because they are placed in a position where they will thrive instead of strive. So if let's say the person is steady, but they are not very like salesperson, so steady people, they can consider indoor sales, customer service. So bear in mind, their personality is the part that will help them to thrive also in the positions that they are at. Okay, so the questions, any questions?
Yeah, just to quickly share what you just said.
Sure.
I think that's it holds a lot of water when you said, okay, it comes back sometimes to a situation. And for example, when you are in an environment, okay, you have a variety of characters and characteristics and people with different levels of attributes, etc. And I think you rightly pointed out in terms of assuming, okay, if you got a group accountant and you got to meet up with that person, okay, that person can be dominant, but at the end of the day, she is also an influencer. But then the fact that you recognize that she is dominant, then you know how to deal with that individual. So yeah, so at the end of the day, it boils down to the situation that you are in and how you deal with that individual. Yeah, right. Because sometimes we just cannot ostracized with someone who said, okay, the person is dominant and I'm just not going to meet up with that person. Okay, but he never realized that that person has got a soft heart with regards to she can be dominant, but then she is also an influencer, especially a group accounting person that you got to sit and go through your P&L.
Yes, I agree with you, Stephen. I totally agree. When I find out, because just for your information, in this DISC, right, you might find that actually.
说完了他的什么，给他拿出来。
Okay, I think that's someone speaking. Okay, so you might find that, for example, what Stephen said, I person, the contrast total opposite is a D person, but I have worked very well with dominant person. Once I understand a bit more about their motivation behind why they are doing that, and what Stephen said, if you're having a discussion about P&L with them, they'll be amazing talking about P&L. Because they are really action orientated. So when I understand, okay, this is the strength of this person, how can I rope them up in my team? Or how can I bring this person and groom them up to become a better leader? Because for a D person, they are amazing leaders. They are very action orientated. But on the personal side, when I got to know this D person that I'm working with or I'm under mentorship with, for example, you realize that actually they have a very soft heart. They are very good people as well. But just got to know what is the thing that motivates them and what's their strength and weakness and how you're going to complement each other as a team or even as a spouse. So let's move on. Okay, let's skip this one. I don't think we have time for this. So the question I asked from the beginning is, can my personality change? So again, your DISC, it depends on your purpose, place, and position. I think I gave a summary when Annie asked me that question. Yeah, the DISC actually can change, because one lady I had a session, she asked me, hey, I did this assessment 1 month ago, but I have changed my personality, totally changed, Then I realized something, why she have changed. And she herself also made that self-reflection. First thing, she changed her job. She left the company. Second thing, she just started her own business, so her position changed. Third thing, her purpose have changed. When, for example, she became from an employee to an employer, her purpose have changed. So her DISC have to change. Like just now what we say, as a trainer and etc., we have to be a bit dominant when coming to leading the team. So we have to adapt to the situation about the again, to your purpose, to your place, and to your position. Then the job can be done more effectively. But at the end of the day, the whole objective is we just want to work together to achieve the same result, the same goals, the same vision, mission, and passion. So, so let's do a quick exercise. Let's close our eyes. And because now it's so stressed, right? Let's do a quick exercise. Close our eyes. Take 30 seconds. Think about your personality type that you have just discovered. So for me, I'll be I and S. So I think, okay, I have an influential and steady, and how that I can use this trait, right, to help the community around me, to help my organization, or to help my family. Visualize yourself doing that. Think about it. Okay, take maybe more few seconds if you need to. So after you know your personality type, think about it. Visualize yourself using your strength to help your team, your family, or your friends. Okay.
Who? Me, Annie.
Yes,
him.
Oh, okay. I am the S and the C type. Okay. I'm a good listener and also willing to help. So what I've been doing is, especially since the beginning of this last year when we had the COVID, I don't know, somehow I have been reaching out to people. I mean, some friends and church members, and somehow, I talk to them and listen to their fears and so on, and I share also my feelings with them. And by after talk, the person is something like, like reassured and so on. So I tend to, a good listener, and I, really want to, help and reach out to people, that kind. especially this time round, you know.
Thank you, Suking. So Suking is sharing about personally, you are a very good listener, and I think even if as a counselor, you'll be great because you not a lot of people have the patience to listen to other people, and I think it's so much in need right now with the current situation with people being stuck at home. You know, we think a lot of women also, especially women. Why I don't say men? Because I have coached men before. I ask them what is their stress level. Their stress level is 30%, and the women who are already achieving so much, their stress level is 80 to 90%. I'm like, what? Men no stress on. So I'm thinking, women are very stressed at home, you know. So to be able to have people to listen to them, to talk to them is amazing. So Suking, I hope that you continue to do that and using the personality traits that you have, you will be thriving in that.
Yeah, maybe Zurin to add to Soking. Soking was a teacher. She's a retired teacher. She's still a teacher now. She's a praise dance teacher. She's our praise dance sifu. So she is very. I can speak. You know that she's really very steady. She's got good listening ears, and she speaks very well, very calm. One thing, she's very calm. So you know, that's why she makes very good counseling. A counselor. She talks to people, and she's very. What they call it, reachable, you know, very, very, how should I say, people person.
I think so too. Thank you,
I mean,
Suking.
yeah, all are welcome to join praise dance, even from Penang. No worry.
Through Zoom, yeah?
Of course, we have it through Zoom every Saturday this morning, 9 a.m.
Sure,
Very interesting.
definitely.
What dance is that? It's like what kind of?
Is it okay if I share a little bit?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah,
Want to
lovely.
share?
Go ahead. Yeah, quite.
This praise dance is the word praise means is praising God. Actually, it's originated from Taiwan, and the song, the movement, the dancing. Actually, it's exercise. It's exercise, but we call it praise dance because they incorporate. I mean the movement, and basically all the songs, the lyrics, the words, all 90% of it is taken from the Bible verses. Yeah, and somehow I'm not a Mandarin speaker, but the song is in Mandarin. Whether you know Mandarin or you don't know Mandarin, the song will touch you. It's very good. It's a very good form of exercise. Yeah, and I have it every Saturday 9 a.m. through Zoom. Yeah, this morning also I have one session. Yeah, that's called praise dance. Yeah,
Even
actually
if you wish to observe or to join in, we can share to you our next Saturday's Zoom. If you have the time, you may just join and see. Yeah, so okay, we welcome men and women, right?
Yes, I'm still waiting for the first man to come into the team, the group.
well,
I'm looking forward to that.
I must tell you this. Saturdays is like, you know, the day when I get up early and I will go for my walk and I'll go for my cycling. I'll go with my sons, you know, hiking and all stuff.
Okay.
And that's what it is. And I said, I was wondering, you know, what was this praise dance is? Well, I've gone to the park when I walk. I know that everybody does the Tai Chi and all the things, you see? And then obviously I heard about Zumba and all that. I'm very active, very energetic, you know. But am I going to do this? I'm not sure. yeah. But that's great.
It's all over the world.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even US, Canada, Australia, everywhere.
So actually he can also Google, right?
Yes.
Give an idea what's this praise dance?
Yeah, YouTube. Yes. It's exercise, but at the same time we praise God. It's open to all anyone.
Well, yeah. I can see you look very relaxed, very modest. You know, I think it's all because of that exercise and the dance, the routine.
Yeah, I've been doing it. Yeah. Yes.
Excellent.
Another thing I would like to share is one of the reasons why is you know that I have the patience, I have to learn because I can understand and you know, like steady is when you have the feeling, you know, how other people feel. Like my sister tell me that, oh, I can even teach her to use Zoom. She had never touched Zoom before, but through my patience and step by step, she said she's so grateful that, you know, she managed to know how to handle the Zoom, especially this time when you need it the most. Then I think I have also reached out to other people just now also. I just taught someone how to share the music through Zoom, and really have to have the patience, and step by step you must put yourself into that person's shoes and imagine that she really doesn't know, and then you have to start patiently, 1, 2, slowly. That's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Amen.
Su King, for sharing.
Steady. Okay. Welcome.
Annie, can I share also about my upcoming class?
Sure.
Okay, so just a quick one. Thank you, Su King, for sharing. It reminded me about the time when I was doing tambourine dance for my church. I'm like a left foot, how to say, I cannot dance one. But that time my pastor asked me to do for tambourine, and of all dance tambourine. So I can understand how difficult it is to learn through Zoom. So one of the things that I also hope that you can join me is I conduct every weekly classes, Wednesday and Thursday, 8 to 10 o'clock, how to boldly attract and engage your audience in just 2 days. So it is for trainers, coaches, and people who are doing online trainings or even online Zoom dance. And for those who are introvert who wants to be more extroverted, and for those who are camera shy, I believe this season, right, is for us to go on Zoom, whether it's to share our message, whether it's to share what our talents and our gifts are. The best way right now we can do in a safe manner is through Zoom. So I conduct this on a weekly basis. I think that's how I met Annie in the first place. It's basically I run this a lot for business owners, a lot for trainers, some for BNI presidents, for them to run classes better and make it more engaging to the participants. And Wednesday classes, what I teach them is how to share about their professional service. So they will attend for 1.5 hours, share about their personal service in a structure and their own style. And the other half an hour, they will present their professional service in the way that they would sell it normally to people. And the Thursday one is their personal authentic story, like how do you share your testimony or your story about why you're doing what you're doing. Like just now, Su King beautifully shared about why she wanted to do the dance. I believe there's a story behind it, why she believed in dance, and why she believed like this dance can present what she loves to people, and using her personality as well, which is the steady and very calm to patiently teach people, is also her strength. So on the Wednesday would be the professional service part, the Thursday would be the personal story part. So this is what I do on a weekly basis. I conduct this for business owners. So so besides that, what you can look for me for is coaching. I coach for all, but mostly for women because that's my ministry. I do workshops and programs on 3 C's pillar: communication, confidence, and character. And I do an inside-out transformation from the inside, mindset, character, and also on the image part, because I believe your voice and your image is your message. So that's why communication is so important right now. And just maintaining this Zoom session, it also helps me because I get to learn from everyone here today. Yep. So anyone else like to share, or maybe you like to share what did you learn from today's session? What is your greatest takeaway from today's session? Let's hear from you guys. Ask Selena, what's your greatest takeaway?
Okay, for me, I think I've heard of DISC, so it's a very good refresh of the personality test. And I think, it really helps me, to actually refresh. And I think I should segregate, my clients, okay, to know like, what type of personality they are, so that it's easier for a communication and more, a more effective communication.
Thank you. Thanks, Selena. I agree. Very well said. Maybe we have one more. Sharon or Celine, if you're there.
Actually, okay, the DISC is will be help us to getting more understand with our beloved person, our colleagues. So that's why we can know how to communicate well with them.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think knowing the DISC components, it helps us to be able to just evaluate and assess in a formal way, in a more structured way, in order to elaborate and understand each other. Like I must see myself like this, and then this person is like that person is like that. So when we sort of like be able to assess in a formal structured way, then we can actually visualize and picture that person better and ourselves better. So when we are able to understand each other better, more clear, then it's easier for us to understand and get to know that person, or collaborate or work together better because then we have better respect and for each other. You know, it's like you can feel for that person, and you'll be able to understand and accept, you know, and not have a mental block and say, you know, how come the person don't like my way? Why, you know, I mean, it's the other way around, that we can work together. So I think this will help us to be able to identify how best we can work with each other with our strengths and weaknesses. Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Annie, you summarized it well. So thank you everyone for joining today's session. If you all have any more questions or like to ask me more about DISC, you may contact me or Annie. So thanks, Annie.
Thank you so much, Zurin, for what a powerful and awesome evening. It's really 2 hours we talked. And as for everyone else here, thank you so much for attending, because many of you are for the first time too, and we really appreciate everyone. As I say, if you wish to attend more of our events, just drop me a note and I can share with you, you know, every month what are the topics, you know, that if you're interested or not interested to join. So Coffee Talks, actually our topics are a varied. It can be just women thing, and it can be for everybody, or it can be just some education, or it can be anything from head to toe, personal or non-personal. And like today we have something that's quite formal about DISC, which is so good, you know, because it is something that's refreshingly different from our normal topics, because our topics are actually like a day-to-day women's thing, what are housewives or working woman or working mother or grandmother do in our, you know, in our homes and so on. So also appreciate Stephen for joining us today.
This is a very good tool, and you made it so simple, and you made it very clear, very precise, and it was very engaging. Very
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I can see you as going into the top with God's blessing, as an influencer in terms of you know, enhancing and giving knowledge to the others, you know, through your training engagement.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I also appreciate everyone who's here today. I really hope today's session will be beneficial for your ministry, for your industry, and for your personal life.
Okay, thank you so much,
Thank
everybody.
you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.